Yeah, glitch the guarantee. E&E. Put your boy shit. Glitch, nigga. Shit, I'm about to flood the streets like when the levees break. Criminal minds, my Garcia can navigate. Flowing while I'm blowing this gas. Nigga, no breaks. Niggas not seeing me ever. I mean, no dates. Fuck around and end up gone. You get in this place. E&E, the shit that I claim. You dealing with grace. Took over the game by storm like Rain's mixtape. Thankfully, I've been up in smoke like my mixtape. Counting cheddar shit, I'm about to make a grilled cheese. Niggas be faker than bad bitches with good weeds. On my John Wick shit like Keanu Reeves. Replacements won't be enough, you need the whole team. I've been a G since I could finish my ABCs. Kept it a buck so real niggas look up to me. This butcher boy shit get crazy when it's sick of me. I'm coughing out these dope bars till they sick of me.
Can't get rid of me, still can't find a remedy. Still blowing palmers, and feel cuffs of Hennessy. E&E, we own our shit independently. When I go out on a limb, I take extremities. I can see right through transparency. Heard their self-esteem low, insecurities. Now or never, like glitch the guarantee. What's the recipe? King L's Reflection 3. All these chapters in my life, you can turn the page. Books can't tell you my story, gotta live a day. Glitch got my back, yeah, you can copy that. Man, we control the seat, you can copy that. Leave your whole state red like Republicans. Putting fire on the track, now it's bubbling. Butcher boys, E&E, you in trouble, kid. Add first 100 mil, you can double it.
Let's go, let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show. Let's go. Automatic nigga, how we get the dough. Get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go. Let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show. Let it show. It's automatic nigga, how we get the dough. Get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go.
Blow sick, corona, jealous in the motherfucker. Can't even take a step, that's how far I trust you. This black boy turned
tap in, fall in.
West side fat jacks, I took more than match. Shave the extras, that's business, starter fees. Street blues, what I talk, royal blood flowing free. Power on my mind, knows the gang is kind. Read between the lines, it was in my eye. If they ain't got real lines, it ain't hard to spot a counterfeit. Undefeated, ultra real, Fern Gully Mountain shit. Couple hot shots, turn on the frozen margaritas. Even better when it's served with some flawless features. Next year they gotta pay for these flawless features. Flawless victories from the flaws that they teach us. Now my flow imitate how I board the plane nonstop. The little J gon' take over with my time side.
Yeah, I get right to it. My nigga, we beg your pardon. We putting niggas back in boxes. Yeah, they be harder. My flow be retarded. Sick, I need hella help. My groove came back. This must be how Stella felt. We just started kicking it like a yellow belt. We all made it to the pros. This is how LaMelo felt. You better yell out help. Here comes the double team. You catch me in the spot, then you know that the boy is clean. The Louis V look mean with the magazine. So if you try it, you get shot. No vaccine. If you was asleep before I came, then I'm the caffeine. I pull the jokers out the deck. Yeah, there ain't no laughing. In CEO fashion, we sticking to the business. Wouldn't even let a vegan knock me off my chicken. Something about the VVS when the sun is hitting. Should be flashing like the lights when you getting
Let's go, let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show. Let it show. It's automatic, nigga, how we get the dough. Get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go. Let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show. Let it show. It's automatic, nigga, how we get the dough. Get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go.
Your brethren, your brother, Virgil Berry, aka Stacks with the Facts. You did. We here. Tap in. I apologize if y'all didn't hear that, man. My bad, man. I just realized that I still have my hard drive plugged in, and I didn't have, you know what I'm saying, my speaker adapter plugged in. But we good to go now. I apologize about that. If y'all want me to play the song over, you know, just let me know. Put a number 11 in the chat. Anyway, what's good with y'all, man? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful afternoon. The sun is shining. You know what I'm talking about? In my city of Columbus, Ohio. And you understand me, man? It's a crazy situation in my city, man. 5 people got shot between New Year's Eve and yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So we got that going on in my city. I hope it ain't nothing similar going on in y'all city. This is another reason why I say, like I said yesterday, the things that we need to totally get rid of and do away with. Shooting them goofy ass, shooting those stupid ass shooting guns on New Year's Eve in the air. Shooting guns in the air like bullets don't come down. Like they just stay up in the air forever. You know? Anyway, what's good with y'all? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling, man? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling, man? It's a beautiful Friday afternoon. You dig? At least I think so. You know what I'm talking about? It's a beautiful Friday afternoon. Like I said, man, just piggybacking off of yesterday's show, you know what I'm saying? A lot of things in our FBA community that we gotta completely and totally do away with, right? And I covered a lot of them yesterday. You know what I mean? I got some emails, and I appreciate the people who sent me the emails that was tapping in. I appreciate that, man. And you know what I'm saying? And I do this because I'm serious about that, man. You know what I'm saying? I come from the same environment a lot of us come from. And you know what I'm saying? I want to see it change and be what I know it can be, what it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Before all this mess got pumped into our communities. You did? Let me see if I can get off the camera for a little bit, y'all. I'm going to camera up as soon as I get done twisting up. But yeah, though, man, we're going to talk about this situation right here. Because, yeah, man, I've been telling y'all about stuff like this, man. Now, let me put this up on the screen for y'all. How many of y'all is aware of this situation right here? Huh? Put a number 11 in the chat if you are aware of this situation right here. All right. I'm definitely about to play the video for y'all. But, and this is why it's so important that we start gatekeeping our culture. This is so important. This is why it's so important. Why we need to be on one accord on all levels. But it's going to be difficult to do that, seeing as how so many of our FBA brethren, like JADAKISS, in the industries they are in, being part of the entertainment industry, a lot of these guys are already compromised. Right? A lot of these guys are already compromised. All right? Sad to say. Sad to say. Now, is Kiss compromised? I don't know. All right? We like to think that the MCs that we really like and been around for a long time, we'll even say are legends even at some point, like Kiss. But make no mistake, man, Kiss was a part of that Puff Daddy situation at some point, to some extent. You know, if I had to interview Kiss, I got some very interesting questions I would like to ask. I got questions, Kiss. I got questions, bro. But as of now, our LOX brothers is cool. I ain't never heard no crazy nothing about Kiss, Sheik, or Styles. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? To be honest with you, I ain't never heard nothing greasy on none of them brothers' names. You know what I'm talking about? But man, listen here. You feel me? Ain't nobody exempt, man, from this scrutiny. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't nobody exempt from this scrutiny, man. Nah, but recently, Mayor-elect, or should I say now current mayor of New York, Zoran, oh my God, Zoran, what's his name? Mamdani, right? Mamdani is a Hindi name, right? If we look further and we break down the phonetics, we break down the etymology of his name, right? Not only is he Indian, right, Hindi, but he's also what we would, for those of us who are in the know, I would call him a crypto Hindu, right? Meaning that his actual family, his actual bloodline are Khazarians. And he actually is not Hindi at all, but he is Khazarian, aka a U. Right? Daniel Valencia, what's good with you, brother? Huh? Even the U's ain't U's. They confused about who they are. Right? Sabbatean, Zevi Sabbatean was a Khazarian. Anyway, a lot of the Khazarians, when the Khazarian Empire broke up, they spread to the East Bloc countries and all the what we call Middle Eastern countries and even Asia. So when we see these present day, what we call Hindis or Hindus, people from India, Nepal, Mongolia, even Bhutan, they're not even Hindi or Hindu. They actually are perping like they Hindis, much like the Jews in Israel, perping like they Jews, but they are really of the synagogue of Satan, which is the descendants of the Khazarian Empire. Right? So that's who Mamdani is. Mamdani is a direct the bloodline descendant of the Sassoon family out of India. Shout out to Bishop Larry Gators, man. He is a direct blood. See how they get when you start dropping the jewels? See how they get when you start dropping the jewels? All right. What my man Daniel Valencia say? He said, really, they are called Bharati. No one called Indian in the subcontinent. Yeah. Exactly. Right. And like I said, it wasn't even the Arabs, man. It was Khazarians perping like they Arabs. I want y'all to understand that the Khazarian Empire was in power for a very long time and ruled the region. The Khazarians or Khazars right now are the people who we mistakenly call Jews. Right? That's who's running stuff in Israel. That's who's running stuff all over the world. It ain't the Israelis, or should I say the Israelites? It's not even the Israelis. The actual people of Israel are actual beautiful people, man. You know, they're actually a beautiful people out there in Israel, man. But they've been indoctrinated just like everybody else. And Mamdani is a direct bloodline descendant of the Sassoon bloodline. Y'all remember the Sassoon bloodline? One of their most famous members of the Sassoon bloodline is Vidal Sassoon. Y'all remember Vidal Sassoon? They have a huge global cosmetics industry corporation. If you don't look good, we don't look good, was their slogan when we were children. Right? That's who he related to. He's a Khazarian. He might perk like he's Hindu, but really he's a Khazarian. That's why he's in there. All right. She said, so the Europeans started calling all that subcontinent people Indian from the area. Yeah. Yeah. And it wasn't like I say, man, this is what these people did when they broke up the Khazarian Empire. They all went and infiltrated and assimilated other people's cultures and religions so they could mask their lanes throughout history so nobody could tie them back to the Khazarian Empire, because the Khazarian Empire were known worshipers of Lucifer, Satan, the devil. We kicking the door down just like that on this episode, man. If y'all have any knowledge of the Khazarian Empire, this is where the current royal families of today stem from. This is where everybody who we consider a bad guy in history, or maybe even a good guy in history, they all descend from these people. They are the ones who are the descendants of the people who founded the Sanhedrin and the Pharisees and the Sadducees spoken of in scriptures. Right? Yeah. You know? But I just said all that to say this guy, Mamdani, is just not some random dude who been chosen to be mayor of New York. He's there because he can be controlled and he's going to fulfill whatever agendas, right? The hidden hand structure that runs New York and everywhere else in America and the world, as long as he do what they want their bidding. That's why he's there. He's there because he's a bloodline affiliate. They know he's along with the program. Please believe it. Please believe it. Right? Now, how many of y'all seen this video? Y'all seen this? This dude is the mayor of New York. They done got Eric Adams' shiesty ass up out of there because he just wasn't believable. And he just was being too hot. See, that's what they trying to do. Then y'all got to pay attention to what they doing. They getting rid of all the black leadership and they bringing in people who are the products of illegal immigrants coming over here and dropping anchor babies. He's one of them. Old girl in Cali is one of them. Ilhan Omar is one of them. The other girls, whatever Riyadh, whatever her name, she's Saudi Arabia. She's one of them. What y'all like to call tethers. I think that's a funny word, but it's a fitting word. Right. This guy, Mamdani, is a puppet. He's controlled just as much as Eric Adams was. You feel me? If not, a little bit more. Now, how many of y'all have sat up here and seen this video, man? This is fall in line with the with the everybody ain't invited to the goddamn cookout situation. Right? Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, share on your social engineering. My fault, so I didn't even mean to take that off the screen like that.
The sun may have set over our city this evening, but as Eugene Debs once said, I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity. For as long as we can remember, the working people of New York have been told by the wealthy and the well-connected that power does not belong in their hands. Fingers bruised from lifting boxes on the warehouse floor, palms calloused from delivery bike handlebars, knuckles scarred with kitchen burns. These are not hands that have been allowed to hold power. And yet over the last 12 months, you have dared to reach for something greater. Tonight, against all odds, we have grasped it. The future is in our hands. My friends, we have toppled a political dynasty. I wish Andrew Cuomo only the best in private life. But let tonight be the final time I utter his name as we turn the page on a politics that abandons the many and answers only to the few. New York, tonight you have delivered a mandate for change, a mandate for a new kind of politics, a mandate for a city we can afford, and a mandate for a government that delivers exactly that. On January 1st, I will be sworn in as the mayor of New York City.
Oh, what's that?
The sun.
This ain't it. No, what do you say something? Hold on, man. Oh, I gotta find the video now. I thought that was it. Oh, y'all ain't seen this though, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I thought that was it though. Let me go ahead and sit here and find it real quick. I thought I was tripping for a second when somebody sent me this like, oh, he trying to, man, y'all gotta stop falling for this mess, man. Yeah, here it is right here, man. My fault, so I apologize about that. I thought I had the correct video. My bad.
And throughout it all, we will, in the words of Jason Terrence Phillips, better known as JADAKISS or J to the moi.
Hold on, man. Y'all seen this, man? Put a number 11 in the chat if you've seen this, man.
Be outside. Because this is a government of New York, by New York, and for New York. And throughout it all, we will, in the words of Jason Terrence Phillips, better known as JADAKISS or J to the moi.
I know Kiss, man. Hey, man. That nigga said Jada to the moi. Right? Y'all see this, man? Let's go, man.
Be outside.
Be outside.
Because this is a government of New York, by New York, and for.
Was that ALC right there?
New York. And throughout it all, we will, in the words of Jason Terrence Phillips.
Damn, said my man Kiss whole name, man. I said, damn, he said Kiss whole government, huh? Jason Terrence Phillips, also known as JADAKISS or J to the moi. Y'all hear that, man?
Better known as JADAKISS or J to the moi. Be outside.
And this is how they get y'all. Stuff like that. Now, this is how they get y'all, man. This is how they get us with stuff like this. Pulling at the emotional heartstrings. Oh, they mentioned JADAKISS. They got Meg Thee Stallion out there. They got Jay-Z and Beyonce and Mary J. Blige and Barack Obama. They got all these ex-rappers who are now community activists coming out of prison and whatnot, pushing these far left, progressive, democratic ideologies. This everybody's included, all inclusive, from all walks of life, no matter where they're from, not understanding that these people have agendas. Right? You think you about to get the vote from us black folks or get the acceptance of us black folks, especially our New York brothers and sisters, just because you quote and kiss, man? How disrespectful, how insulting, how demeaning, belittling intellectually this is, right? No, I'm not throwing 100 on 10. And no, I'm not blowing this out of proportion, man. This is what they do, right? The Republican Party does this too. They just don't play at our emotional heartstrings. One thing I can say about the Republican Party is, for the most part, they're kind of outright with their dislikement towards us, but they understand to the extent that they have to work with us that best benefits them. I will at least say that. They're kind of more open with their racism and all of that stuff versus these dudes who do it covertly, right? What y'all know about this, man? Y'all hear about this, man? Y'all read about this? Y'all seen this? He just was elected today, if I'm not mistaken. He just gave his inaugural address and acceptance today or yesterday, right? That man quoted Kiss, Jack. You hear me? Now, we got a whole history of this. One of the guys, right? One of the guys, he's locked up right now, right? They used to be his boy. I think 50 is being groomed to be the new boy. But they're starting to realize that they don't even have to go to the far as buck breaking to get you dudes to comply. A lot of y'all are willing participants, which is sad. Very sad, right? You understand me? We got all, man, they're trying to infiltrate us, man. They're trying to infiltrate, man, using these so-called influencers and people who of color in different walks of life that so-called represent these democratic ideologies, but they really have very ulterior motives for the so-called Black community especially, right? You know? This dude right here, man, and I ain't got nothing against my son, man, personally. I don't have nothing against my son personally. I think he's a dope MC, to be honest with you. He's nice with the bars. But my son is being used, allowing himself to be used, which means he's a willing participant, right? And beware of these so-called street dudes, community activists, guys who came home from prison and they got all this corporate funding from the Democratic National Convention and corporate sponsors who are of the democratic mindsets, who are very, what we call or known as very progressive corporations, who support these people financially, giving them the financial ability to promote these ideologies and these agendas, these far left, democratic, progressive agendas, like the LGBTQ Elemental People Working Committee agenda, like feminism, right? All inclusiveness, all of this effery, keeping the borders open, illegal, making illegals basically legal without going through the process of coming. Yeah, man. I don't trust my son. He is an employee of George Soros. Don't trust him. You know, I don't tell y'all what to do and what not to do, but if I was going to tell y'all anything, it would come to one of our own FBA family who we can't trust and is not to be trusted and is a traitor, it's my son. My brother Yellow D in the building. What's good with you, man? Yes, my son is compromised, and he plays a significant role in the Mamdani administration. What y'all know about that? What political experience does my son have outside of being the guy who took the fall for a crime he did not commit? What he know about politics? My son is a rapping dude from the BX, man. He is not even, and I'm not even like trying to go in on my brother, Paul. You feel? I'm just saying, man, my son is not even intellectually inept to even be in the position he is as in representing us politically via the Democratic Party and specifically having a specific role on this dude's administration. Hell yeah, he did, Yellow D. You know he did. Right? Trying to find out where, because I don't want to, you know, I don't like playing it. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. Right? This is what I'm gonna do right here. I'm gonna pull up. This is what I'm gonna do, y'all. We're gonna box cleverly, right? This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do, all right? This is what we're gonna do right here, y'all. We're gonna box cleverly, right? This dude was on the Breakfast Club. I was at the gym earlier listening to this, man. I was like, man, this dude was on the Breakfast Club. I was at the gym. I was like, man, this dude, my son, is a cold sucker, man. Right? You gotta box cleverly, y'all. Monique, what's good? What you love, what?
Yeah, this is one of the most dangerous morning show, The Breakfast Club. Charlamagne the God, DJ Envy, Just Hilarious, Envy, and Just on here, but LL Cool Ben, Lauren LaRosa is.
Y'all tap in with them. I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back, y'all.
Appointed to Zoran Mondani's transition team. Definitely a friend to the room. The good brother Mike's on his head. What's up, Mike?
Thank you for having me. What's going on with y'all?
You autographed this for me, man.
This is the first. Let me see. This is the first time I actually see. I don't even have.
What? You ain't see it?
No, I didn't even see it like in person. I just seen it online. Wow.
Well, before we get into that, what does your role on Zoran Mondani's transition team entail?
It entails being an advisor, being able to talk about policies that we think should be implemented from criminal justice, from public safety, also appointments, people that we think should be a part of his staff that in that area that we feel best fit what it is that he wants to accomplish and what represents us in the community.
So what power do you have to actually influence policy? Because people will be like, "Oh, this is just optics." You get somebody like my son who's well respected in the city. Like, what power do you have to actually influence
it's policy? 20 of us. It's 20 of us in that committee, right? So we sit down and we talk about policy. We have different meetings. We send, okay, this is the policy we think we should enact, and he gets to look at that based off, what we come together, and he makes his own decision. We don't just tell him what to do. All we can do is advise and give recommendation.
Hate or love Mondani, right? People have been yelling that they want this. They want people in the community, from the community, helping to make decisions. Why are people so upset that it's happening?
Because, people don't.
Yes, they're upset that it's happened because of the people who is actually being up in there don't actually represent the people, right? And this is why I've always been telling y'all, man, go look back on my archive of videos, man. Y'all right? Go look back on my archive of videos, right? I got a video called Agent Provocateurs and Rabble Rousers Abound on YouTube, right? And I've been telling y'all this for quite some time, right? It's kind of one of my mantras, right? You hear somebody else saying it, you know where they got it from, right? Agent Provocateurs and Rabble Rousers Abound on YouTube, right? Now, what is an agent provocateur? My son, right? My son's an agent provocateur. Tap in, man. Let's go. Let's finish. We're gonna dissect what he's talking about.
I like change, especially the people that don't want to see change. They want to make it seem like it's a bad thing. It doesn't make sense that you mad that somebody who's experienced the criminal justice system on both ends, who was wrongfully convicted inside prison for 7 years, came home and started working with youth inside prison, started you know, dealing with reform organizations, who has influenced policy within prisons, who knows, you know, the mind state of the young kids that's going in and out of these prisons, that's actually working with him. That doesn't make sense that somebody would be mad. So I love what Mayor Mondami is, Mayor-elect right now, is doing right now, because he's really trying to encompass what New York looks like. The people.
This was 2 weeks ago.
Voices of New York. You know, I'm about to start doing roundtable meetings and convenings with formerly incarcerated individuals, in which we sit down and we talk about what it is, what it looks like to actually be productive members of society. What do we want to see? What do we realize is wrong with the system, so he can actually get a real understanding of what's happening inside the system. I tried.
Now, see, now that sounds all good, right? Right? That sounds good on the surface, right? And it is. It's a beautiful thing. It's actually some of the very work that I'm fixing behind the scenes to start doing in my city, right? I'm going to use my experiences from being incarcerated for 6.5 years, man. My experience with the Rehabilitation and Corrections Department of the state of Ohio, right? I ain't gonna get into too many details about it, but you know, that's something that your brothers and your brothers putting together. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with what my son just said. I actually advocate for quite a lot of the same things, and I think it's important. I would even say it's our obligation as foundational Black American men like myself and my son, and lots more of us who have done time in prison, to use our experiences to not only prevent young brothers from repeating what we did, but also using our experiences to let people know that us, just because at one point in time we may have lived a criminal lifestyle, we have paid our debt to society, and now we are here trying to use our experiences to not only prevent the youth from repeating our footsteps or going in our footsteps, but we're also out here want to use our same influence to now do that in our communities across the country. And we want to be given funds to be able to have these community resources in our various communities to contribute to, you know what I'm saying, creating programs and, you know what I'm saying, tangible things that our kids can do as an alternative versus the things that we chose to do as young boys that sent us to prison, right? Now, see, that's a beautiful thing to see when the very people who are funding these things through their connections with the Democratic Party are a very nefarious people who have agendas, and in exchange for this funding for these programs, right? The people like my son, the people like Tamika Lowry, all these other people, they have to push their agendas. UN Agenda 2030 for sustainable global sustainability agendas. Look at what my son talks about. Look what he defends. Look what is a part of his ideology when he speaks. Look at the things that he talks about. Look at the things that he advocates for. Look at the people who he's connected with. Look at the platforms that he goes on. Right? That's what I'm focusing on. When they start pushing guys like this in the forefront, they get all this major funding that's allegedly through the Democratic Party, when it's actually being funneled through the Democratic Party from their big-time private donors who are very nefarious people like George Soros. My son works for the Open Society Foundation, owned by George Soros. Him and his girl, Tamika Lowry, or whatever her name is, right? In conjunction with their homegirls at Black Lives Matter, Alicia Garvey, Opal Tometi, right? And Patrice Cullors Khan. And we got old girl up here in Canada too. Monique said, I had a formerly incarcerated man to talk to my son and his friend so they wouldn't want to go to jail. Yeah, man. And listen, Monique, I'm about to start doing that type of content. I'm about to sit over here. See, what we ain't going to do over here at Able Talk, we're not going to aggrandize anything. We're not going to put it in the spotlight like it's something to achieve or aspire to be or become. I'm going to talk about my experiences, and I'm going to have people who I was in prison with who have come home, been home for some years, and they're doing beautiful things with their lives, right? And have totally left a life of criminality behind us from our experiences we gained, skills we gained while in prison, and applying those in our life out here so we ain't got to go back. That's the content I'm going to be doing regarding prison lifestyle. We're not going to be doing prison politics. We're not going to be talking about who catching fades. We're not going to be talking about this one and that one. And, oh, remember when we ain't going to be talking about none of that, man. Right? We want our young brothers to see that taking the route that y'all are being manipulated into going and doing with this music, through this music and this imagery, is going to lead y'all to where most of us spent a nice amount of our lives at, feeding that prison school pipeline situation they got set up. And we got to break that down. We got to destroy that system. We got to destroy that structure, right? And they're using these rap dudes to keep it going, to perpetuate it. That's why you don't hear a lot of guys talking about a lot of positivity. You don't hear these guys talking about manhood. These aren't the artists that getting promoted. You know what I'm saying? This isn't, where's the artists like the Russells at? Where's the artists like the Fahim the Dump Guy? Why aren't these artists getting signed to major labels? Right? It's because the major labels don't want y'all to hear what these people have to say. They want y'all to be out here drilling, thotting, twerking. Right? They want y'all to be out here sliding. They don't want y'all to be informed. They don't want y'all to be educated, not indoctrinated, right? I just want y'all to pay attention to that. And they're using guys like my son, man. Let's go. I just wanted to show y'all that real quick. Now, let me pull this picture back up on the screen. All right. Well, now we can keep it right there. Oh, no, I'm gonna put the picture on the screen for y'all. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. Share on your social engineering. Are rappers being used to push political agendas? Yes. Yes and yes. I could keep going all day. I can show y'all all types of stuff, man. All right. And my son is definitely one of them.
I have to take too many things personal, man. But when I saw this on the front page of the New York Post, you labeled as a crime boss, Madani appoints rapper who served 7 years for armed robbery as justice advisor. It actually offended me as a person with a criminal record, because it's like, damn, my son went to prison in what, 1990?
We can't forget about Charlemagne the fraud, Charlemagne lesser charge fraud, the fraud, who took a lesser charge and still had to register. I wonder if he had to register as a sex offender. With that girl back in the day when he was in college. Getting that girl all drunk and stuff, running trains on that girl with his old frat brothers. You know how it go down in college, man. At least I know how it went down. God damn it. Let's go.
What, how old are you, 20? Yeah, 21. 21 for 48-year-old grown man now. You've done nothing since you came home but giving back to your community, but trying to teach others not to follow the same path, and you still can't escape that?
Gross, dude.
No.
It's covered in mud.
No.
That was really fast. Wait, that one was only 5.
You know,
no, he can't escape that. He's not going to escape that. He ain't put in enough work to escape that. He ain't made enough sacrifices to escape that. Peep what I'm saying. My son is at a point in his life, in his career with these people, his interaction with them, where he got to make a decision what he gonna do. You giving this prestigious, kind of unofficial, kind of like a de facto pseudo position within the, New York City government, I guess you could say. You're not really wielding any type of power or real influence. It's more like you're just a guard at the gate that's going to get paid a little handsome sum just to sit up there and perpetuate more what's already been going on under the guise of helping the community. And yeah, they're going to do a little bit of stuff. They might put some recreation parks out there, rebuild some parks, do some stuff like that, all of which is part of UN Agenda 2030 for global sustainability. All right. Yeah. But at the same time, pushing these UN Agenda 2030 sustainable goals, like the LGBTQ LMNOP Barbecue Committee agenda, like feminism, like equal and fair and housing for everybody with the illegals and all of that. No more borders and all that crazy stuff. And this is the policies that they're pushing, all the policies that are destroying our community. Right? And that's what I be saying, man. Y'all got to be able to look through these people. Y'all got to be able to see through these people. It's all a facade with these community activists, fake politicians, journalists looking like my son, man. Let's go.
I say all the time, what the devil means for bad, God will use for good. They got a good picture, so I actually like this picture.
You're wearing your boycott black murder shirt and hat.
When you look, it's boycott black murder on the shirt and the hat, and we actually sold out. So you can go buy some more on the website if you want to at untilfreedom.com. But it actually shows what it is that I represent. So what happened was, for me, when I received so many congratulations, it's like people didn't even realize that they were actually trying to, discredit and defame me. People were just like, wow, you're doing something with the man. You're actually, a part of the justice advisory system with the man. So it didn't even get the effect that they wanted to get. So for me, it was like, you know what? I'm not going to allow them to utilize that to discourage me from the work that I've been doing for the last over a decade. With Until Freedom, we've been doing this anti-violence work. We've been doing criminal justice work for the last over a decade. So for me, it's like, I'm going to continue and I'm going to utilize. Right.
You got to be able to peep the play, man. Of course, and that's given an illusion that the system actually works, man. It's just people being allowed things. Nothing really changes. Nothing really changes. Right? Because while at the same time, while funds are being given for some of these programs in the community, some of these resources in the community, look what else is going on. Right? You got people we got to make homeless shelters for the LGBTQ LMNOP. Now, I'm not saying that people who are LGBTQ LMNOP Barbecue Committee agenda members, if they're homeless, they don't deserve assistance or some type of help or access to resources to help them to not be homeless. I'm not saying that. But look how it's housing specifically for these people, though. If you are not an LGBTQ member, you do not get to take advantage of these resources. So I want y'all to understand what's being done, man. Y'all have to be able to peep the play, man. It's important that y'all be able to peep the play. So important that y'all be able to do this. Use your critical thinking, man. So important. Let's go, man. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, Jack.
This notoriety and which I mean for bad, I'm gonna utilize it. I'm gonna make sure that the word gets out. I'm gonna make sure that I represent formerly incarcerated and justice impacted people properly. So when they say, "Oh, we can't do it," I want to be a representative to say that my son showed you that it's definitely possible that you can be successful.
Because you've been doing this for a long time, like, you know what I mean? But did this moment and how, like, a New York Post or wherever else mentioned you, did it turn up something new or like make you think of like, okay, we need to make sure we're doing this over here too? Like, was there like a blind spot that like you saw through all this?
I don't know if it was a blind spot, but it definitely was a level of urgency. It made me feel more, motivated to do the work that we've been doing, motivated to bring certain voices, because, I say this all the time. There's so many formerly incarcerated people who are doing so many positive and you know, just really good things that nobody talks about, you know, and that's the thing I want to highlight. I don't want, because a lot of people formerly incarcerated don't believe that they can do certain things. They don't believe that they can be successful. And most, the public perception is that too, as well. So I want to be able to highlight people that come home that have been doing this work for years, who've been doing positive things for years, who've been productive members of society. They always, people act like they don't know. Allen Iverson was formerly incarcerated. You know, like it's just so many people that we talk about that was formerly incarcerated. Malcolm X was formerly incarcerated. And it's like we look down on the stigma. And when we talk about formerly incarcerated, a lot of people don't act like they know that Black people are the highest falsely accused and exonerated.
And that's true. All of that's true, y'all. Out to all my peoples out there doing the work. Shout out to my brother Kirk Shanae out of my city, who's doing you know what I'm saying, Christian ministry in the church, man. He started out in prison, you know what I'm saying, gave his life to the Most High, man, and I respect him because he came home and he stayed on his path. He wrote a book. I'm gonna get him on the I had Kirk on the show. He wrote a book called The Road to Damascus, that's still selling organization that he has out here, a nonprofit that's so I got brothers who out here beautiful things, man. One of my homeboys that came home and opened up a barbershop where he does youth advocacy via his barbershop and exposure he can have, because he used to be a real live lit ass ninja in the city back in the day. Now he's doing community work in the community. I'm about to have him on the show. I got people. All right. Right. Not guys who are out here taking advantage of the community by pushing these agendas through these organizations that are funding them, like my son, like Tamika Larry, and a whole bunch of other guys. I got a feeling with this F the Streets movement, man. I got a feeling that it's something behind that, man. I don't know what it is. Something in my water is telling me, something in my brain is telling me, like it's something to that F the Streets movement, man. But I don't see it getting no major traction. I don't see it getting no major funding. So I'm not going to put nothing on 21 Savage, like I said when I did the show on it another couple days ago, right? But I'm gonna keep looking into it, because I just got a feeling that we ain't heard the last of that stuff though. But if we don't hear next month, you know, as far as like heavily promoted, heavily pushed, you know what I'm saying? See, I think sometimes what they do is they leak these agendas through some of the artists and see what type of pushback if people want to them. And it's been a lot of pushbacks from that F the Streets movement from a lot of people, you know what I'm talking about? And I understand why. But yeah, man, I don't trust my son, man. All right. I don't trust my son at all. I don't trust this dude. I don't care what work he did. I don't care what positive stuff he done did. I salute him for doing the positive stuff he did. Nigga, that's what you're supposed to do. You don't get no accolades for that. You know, I mean, you get accolades for it when it's done in purity and genuineness. You don't get no accolades for it when you're doing it under the guise of being a real ninja from the hood who now try to get back, but you pushing these agendas inadvertently, covertly through the people who are funding you. My son supports the LGBTQ barbecue committee agenda. My son supports the LGBTQ LMNOP barbecue committee agenda. Any black man claiming to be a black man and he supports that movement is automatically not a black man, and he ain't with us. He don't support FBA. He's not for the betterment of our community in any shape, form, or fashion if he supports that. Another reason why I don't trust my son. Right? Let's go.
People in the world. I was falsely accused of a crime. I spent 7 years in jail for a crime I didn't commit. I went to trial for my case. So it's like a lot of us, just because there's the stigma of us being arrested and incarcerated, they make it seem like we're a threat to society and we just criminals. And some people have committed crimes, but some people, like when you go to the justice, when you go to the prison, it's supposed to be real. So a person does this time and he comes out and he's productive. Why do we act like he can't be productive?
And they're focusing on your past, but
because you're not meant to be rehabilitated. This is why the current prison system they don't want to rehabilitate people anymore. They don't want to rehabilitate people. Well, we got my brother DJ Biggs up in the building. DJ Biggs, have you been up in here before? I think so. I feel like I've seen you in my comment section before. But shout out to DJ Biggs. DJ Biggs, I blame KRS for taking hip hop to the Black Caucus and to make it benefit them. Yeah, man. KRS a sellout too. All these dudes from the Bronx, man. Right?
is the very thing that qualifies.
More, motivated to do the work that we've been doing, to motivated to bring certain voices, because, I say this all the time, there's so many formerly incarcerated people who are doing so many positive and, just really good things that nobody talks about. And that's and most the public perception is that too as well. So I want to be able to highlight people that come home that have been doing this work for years, who've been doing positive things for years, who've been productive members of society. They always, people act like they don't know. Allen Iverson was formerly incarcerated. It's so many people. The prison, right, is supposed to be rehabilitation. So a person.
No, it's not. No, it's not. This is why the prison system is going under over. Yeah, man. See, when you start kicking that game, man, they want to try to start blocking you out and all of that, man. Wild stuff, man. Wild stuff, man. All right, let's go.
Does this time?
Now, but like I was saying before, we were so rudely interrupted, right? No, it's not meant to rehabilitate you, man. They want you to keep like I keep saying, keep getting cut off. They are rehauling the prison system, right? They're overhauling the prison system. This is why they're talking about stuff like this. Huh? They got all the bases covered, man. Yeah, that's what I meant to look up. My bad, y'all. Hold on, I'm about to show y'all right now. I did a show on this too. right? Y'all remember when I did a show on this subject right here, this company that's experimenting with unintelligent, artificially intelligence-powered human brain computer interfacing, the same tech that Elon Musk is doing heavy research and development in, huh? Y'all remember when I told y'all about this company called Cognify? Who's going to be the company, one of the catalyst company, one of the pioneering companies in this type of corrections technology, re-education centers. Cognify. This is why they're not trying to rehabilitate people. They're getting out of the business of rehabilitation and cognification. Cognify is a company that has doing research and development in human brain computer interfacing and memory replacement, re-education technology, to where instead of going to prison and wasting all these tax dollars on housing these people, feeding these people, building these buildings, constructing these buildings, and the whole entire economy that's surrounded with them, which is that's become a tax burden, and also it's an obsolete system that they don't need anymore due to technology like Cognify got, to where if you commit a crime, they could just sentence you to 10 years. And what they'll do is instead of putting you in a prison for 10 years, you'll go to Cognify. And when you go to Cognify, your memory will be wiped and replaced with memories that will compel you and manipulate you into living a life of a productive society member. Cognify. This is why the current prison system now is being destroyed from within. This is why they're letting all the cell phones in. This is why they're allowing people to see how people are living and what's actually going on in the prison. This is why they're letting guys like Fleece out and pushing and promoting Fleece, allowing him to get popular to destroy the psyches and actually to scare young boys specifically from not going to prison, which I'm pretty sure is working, while at the same time turning a profit from it. See, these people are bloodsuckers, man. They are literally energetic demons. And this is where the prison industry is going. So they don't need, you know what I mean? They're not trying to rehabilitate you when you go to prison. Or should I say, that's not their goal, right? And this is part of the reason why they're not focusing on rehabilitation in the prison system, because they're about to overhaul the prison system. It ain't gonna matter. Recidivism, all that stuff is gonna become a thing of the past, because they're just gonna wipe your brain and replace it with new memories, false memories, kind of like in the movie Total Recall. Recall. Put a number 11 in the chat if you remember the movie Total Recall, the original, featuring Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's where all this stuff is headed, man. You got to be able to I'm talking about specifically with the prison industrial complex. Everything is becoming automated. Everything. Let's go. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. I'm about to drop the link up here in a few minutes, man. I want to see what some of y'all got to say, if y'all got to say anything at all. You did. Serious situation going on with this, man. And this Mom Donnie, he ain't on our side, and we gonna see. Y'all gonna see what Mom Donnie gonna do, man, up there in New York. Y'all are going to regret keeping him in there. It's gonna be more of the same. He gonna continue what Adams was doing. He ain't about to do nothing too much different. All them promises of lower taxes or no taxes, man, they've been telling us that forever. While taxes just get more and more and more and increase more and more every year. Right? Let's go.
When he comes on, he's productive. Why do we act like he can't be productive?
And they're focusing on your past, but that is the very thing that qualifies you for the role.
Now, people, what he said, judging people for their past. Well, if we start wiping people's memory, there will be no recollection of their past to them. And once they get re-educated, they're not going to conduct themselves in that way anyway, because the memories have been wiped away. Now, there's a such thing as residual. Right? But just like in the movie Total Recall, some memories are imprinted onto our psyches, onto the very fabric fibers of our genetic structure. And with the science of epigenetics, which studies how traumatic experiences can be literally passed down through the generations genetically. See, that's another topic for another day. This stuff go deep, man. Right? And this dude, my son, is an agent provocateur if I've ever seen one. You did? Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, share, and social. Let's go.
How do you feel about that? I think that is so ironic, or it's just disingenuous to say that when we got a president that got 34 felonies and his whole cabinet is full of criminals, right? So we look at, especially black people, we act like we can't do certain things. And I say all the time, this is those closest to the problem are closest to the solution. You know, sitting in the cell for 7 years, you know, seeing how
and not a lot. It's some of us that think like that, but not most of us. Right? They use guys like my son to manipulate us and convince us that the only way we're going to get any political power is if we align ourselves with them to some extent. And that is utterly wrong. Because the first mistake is us thinking that we're about to get some justice as black folks, foundational black Americans in this country, when the system ain't designed in such a way. It's not designed for us to be successful in it. When are y'all going to understand that? When are y'all going to realize that? Another part of this show ain't necessarily just to point the finger at Mom Donnie or point the finger at his little lapdog boy right here, my son. But it's also to shine light on another subject that most people don't even consider or contemplate. Has it come across to you Democrats that the democratic form of government, it just doesn't work? It just does not work and has not worked, specifically and especially for us foundational Black Americans. Right? Put a number 11 in the chat, man. Put a number 11 in the chat if you think that being mostly Democrat for the past, what? Goddamn it, down to 200 years? Has that benefited us as Black foundational Black Americans? Right? Right? I'm not saying become Republicans, man. I'm not saying that either. I would never tell y'all that. I don't vote. Right? And I already told y'all how I feel when it comes to the Republican Party. At least they outright open with their racism, man. At least they ain't covert with it. Right? And I can do business with somebody who I know don't personally like me, but we got the same business view. So we got enough gumption between us to know that regardless of how we feel toward each other, it would be in our best interest collectively to do business with each other. Right? And after business get done, we can go do our separate thing, however we don't do it or whatever. Right? And we don't need to be rushing to make no alliances with them either. Right? Huh? Everybody else can be divisive, but when we start being divisive, now it's a problem. All the more reason for us to be divisive. Right? Especially when you got Asian provocateurs like this dude right here.
Justice system works, seeing how inmates are treated and how people are sitting there. A brother just was killed. You know, he was executed. And they found out 4 or 5 years later that his DNA didn't match and he was actually innocent. So these are things that happen every day in the justice system. And people like myself who've actually experienced it, who understand that and see the blind spots because somebody who just went to school and studied law never understood those realities. A lot of times, I've watched a lot of elected officials. I've watched people who studied the law and then they actually got incarcerated and they came home and have conversation with me like, I didn't realize what was going on. And they become the biggest advocates for prison reform and for, those type of things. So I just think that I've been
and this is the thing, y'all. When they're talking about prison reform, when you hear guys like my son talk about prison reform, pay attention to the word reform, not prison, right? Not prison eradication, not prison annihilation, right? Not let's get rid of the prison system in its entirety, not and focus on, instead of building prisons, building better communities, bringing a lot of these corporations home and paying a living wage so young Black boys ain't got to be resorted to selling dope and drilling and being gangbangers. Huh? Nah, not that. Nah, we want to reform prison. We want to reform it. We don't want to eradicate it. We don't want to annihilate it. We don't want to do away with it. Pay attention to the language, y'all. My son don't stand for us, man. And I don't know this dude. I'm not from New York. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I don't know this dude. It ain't nothing personal against this dude. If it was anybody else in his position, I'd be saying the same thing. No cussing. 2026, we're going to work on articulating ourselves intellectually and not using 4-letter expletives. It's going to be a challenge for me, so I know it's going to be a challenge for y'all. But collectively, we can do it. I would ask y'all if y'all would refrain from spelling out expletives in my comment section. I'm not telling you to stop using the expletives. I'm just saying box cleverly. Spell them in a clever way that will confuse the unintelligent artificial intelligence, but that we will know what you mean when you're typing what you're typing. You did? Appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, though, man. This ain't nothing personal against my son, man. And I say that because I know some of y'all out there watching. It's some of y'all that's going to see this and be like, y'all my son fans, or y'all my son stands, or my son Glazer groupie ass ninjas, right? I know it's going to be some of y'all that see that be like, he hating on, nah, man. I'm just calling it like I see it based on the facts I know, considering this guy and Tamika Larry, whatever her name is, married Tamika Larry, in fact, whatever her name is, and the people who they're connected with politically, right? Yeah, and the agendas that they support, right? Facts. Yes, hip hop is being used, not just on all levels, man. Just think about a couple years ago, man. Think about a couple years ago. People forget about this, man. People be forgetting about this stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? People forget about this, man. This is why this dude feel the way he feel, man, about a lot of stuff, man. Right? Y'all remember this campaign right here? This was a cold campaign right here, Jack. Headed by yours truly, or should I say headed by y'all's homeboy. Definitely not headed by me, but headed by y'all's homeboy, Mr. Freak Off himself. Right? Y'all remember this movement right here? Y'all remember this agenda? The vote or die agenda? When Puff was being funded majorly by the Democratic Party. Huh? Mary J. Blige, 50 Cent was a part of this. Mary J. Blige and 50 Cent was a part of this. Right? They've been using hip hop to promote political agendas, yes, forever. Right? The vote or die movement was the movement that was mobilizing the youth to start voting. Not necessarily voting for Democrat or voting for Republican at the time, but for voting, period. It was later relaunched for the 2020 election, right? And it's focused on Gen Z and millennials. This was for the 2020 election to get Biden in there. Or should I say to get what's the name in there? Trump. Right? No, my fault. I'm right by it. Right? Yeah. Right? 50 and Diddy worked together on this. This is what I'm saying, y'all. Don't take none of these people too seriously. Diddy and 50 were close partners on this initiative right here with Mary J. Blige, John Legend, and a whole bunch of other people too. Right? With this vote or die initiative they had. And Puff and 50 was like this at the time as far as business went. Now all of a sudden they beefing with each other. But to be fair, and watch what I'm about to do. To be fair, 50 said he stopped liking Puff because he felt Puff was a fruit pop, as he said when he first went on Drink Champs a few years ago. And he said he didn't like the way Puff tried to play him. Like he was sweet, basically. And then he goes to tell the story on Breakfast Club about how he was at Chris Lighty's party, or Mike Lighty's birthday party, and Puff was talking to him, and Puff asked him, could he take him shopping? But if we recall from the window shopping video, it would appear that 50 took Mace shopping. Y'all remember the window shopping video? And here's a window shopper. So you can buy. Let me use a window shopper. Y'all know that was Mace in the video with him, right? When Mace got signed to G Unit. Yeah, man. Kim, funny as hell for bringing that up on the show, man. That was funny that Killer brought that up, man. Let's go, man. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. Exactly. You must have heard me. You seen when I said that earlier, huh? They're the same people, man. Right, exactly. The same people. All the same people. Right? I dropped the link in the comment section. If somebody want to come up, anybody but a dead body, y'all want to come up, add to the conversation, ask some questions, speak on something, challenge anything I'm saying, y'all more than welcome, man. Right? The question is hip hop being used to push political agendas? Yes, clearly. Clearly, man. Clearly they are. And with good reason. Right? With very good reason. They've been using hip hop from massive different angles, not the fashion, people in positions of authority, people who, just look. Right? Look at all of the rappers who have brand deals. Look at all the rappers who support certain organizations. Right? This thing is a very serious situation, man. And when we got guys like Mamdani becoming the mayor of the military capital of the world, the financial capital of the world, right? I want to now remind y'all, right? Not the financial capital the financial capital of the world, but not of the system. You hear me? That's out there in London, right? Anyway, that's another topic for another day. But yeah, man. Straight like that, man. They definitely are using hip hop as a tool to pass off these political agendas, to indoctrinate we the people so that we go along with this stuff. Make us believe that these people are somehow on our sides and care for us or care about us and our communities and our families, and they do not. They absolutely do not. So why would we continue to participate in such a structure, such a system? And at a point, once again, at a point where we start to wake up to see the corruption of the system, although there are some of us who are still inanely inured to the system, in the system, there's a lot of us who are starting to see the system for what it is, and we're breaking away from it. And when we're at a point in our human existence, specifically in America, where we at a critical mass and we have the ability to change what's coming and have a major impact on slowing it down, now we get hit with all this stuff, right? So when you got these people like Mamdi, right? Mamdani, who is a descendant of the Sassoon family. He's a Khazarian by blood, man. You hear me? He's directly connected. Got him in here pushing these UN Agenda 2030 for global sustainability protocols and ideologies within the government of the state of New York and the city, or the government of the city of New York. Seeing as how New York is a mega city in a mega region. right? Wonder how many of y'all know that. New York is already deemed a mega region. That's why all that construction out there is going on out there in New York, just like it is everywhere in the country. All this stuff happening right in our faces, and we see it, but we can't comprehend what's actually going on. Structure being, the system being replaced and built right in our faces, man. Yeah, man. All these people, man, all these so-called celebrities, that a lot of them come from the very environments we come from, sold us out, keep selling us out. Just for them, for when their little dirty secrets come out, this system does them dirty. Huh? Diddy, Sean, anybody else who's currently locked up or about to get locked up or, being investigated right now. See how they do, y'all? They just use you up. Y'all just up here getting used up, sent to the blade, man. Crazy, man. Wild as hell. Right? Another situation. I always wondered what this was about, right? Because I don't recall anything coming from this as far as it was nothing. I don't recall no media coverage behind this. I don't recall like a story behind this. You know? Okay, I remember what it was for now. I think. Or no, was that it? Oh yeah, that's what it was for. That's for. That's what it was for. Right? Yes, they are using hip hop to get their agendas across the Democratic Party. Now, why was Lil Baby at the White House with the family of George Floyd? Right? What was Lil Baby doing at the White House with the family of George Floyd during the riots of 2020? What was his purpose being there? It definitely does. With this thought boss chick, use my sexuality to manipulate and trick these guys up out of their bread without actually having to do anything. Oh man, I'm gonna see where that gets y'all, man. They thinking you gonna get a real dude who gonna do all that stuff, thinking he gonna be a grown ass man. No, ma'am, no, sir. No, ma'am, and no, sir. Right? Wild stuff, man. Wild stuff. Right? So yes, man, hip hop is definitely being used to push these political agendas. It's being used in so many ways, whether it's being used through the lyrics to promote certain things that they want going on in our community, like crime, like drilling, like demonic ideology, demonic things of a demonic nature. If it wants to promote promiscuity, promote all inclusiveness, next thing you know, we're about to have fun boy rappers out here being on the charts and stuff. Completely destroying the legacy that us FBAs have built by feminizing it in every aspect. And we can't allow that to happen. You understand? Well, since none of y'all want to come up, we're going to end the show, man. No need to drag this one out. I pretty much said everything I had to say. I think I got my point across, man. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to show y'all that recently. That was a couple weeks ago, prior to Mom Donnie being signed in. I think, if not, I'm mistaken, today or yesterday. Right? It's a reason why they are allowing people like Mom Donnie to be elected into the government. Is to give us a sense that we have lost control of our government. It's getting us used to having people who are not from here, people whose families are not born here or not from here, who are immigrants or migrants. It's getting us desensitizing us. It's preemptively programming us to be used to accepting authoritative rule from people who are not U.S. citizens or are not American by blood. Right? Man, y'all better understand what I'm saying right now, man. This is why we have been flooded with so many cultures from all over the planet to so much get us psychologically familiar and prepared to be dealing with this, not only on the level we have been for the past 30, 40 years, but on the new level, right? Dealing with these people, right? And living with these people in confined spaces, like how some of us been in some of our housing projects through the country. Oh, y'all think it's bad now? Wait till they start stuffing us in the mega structures. So yeah, man, you know, man, listen here, y'all, man. This ain't nothing against nobody, man. Like I said, I don't know my son personally. I don't know Tamika Larry personally. I just know the people who they connected with. And I know if they connected with these people, that means they're compromised, which means, you know, they're not to be trusted. It's far gone are the days where people be involved with various nefarious organizations and very, very corrupt and very evil people who run these corporations. It's going to be to a point where I'm not going to be like, nah, he don't know. Like, nah, ain't no way you don't know. How do you not know? Especially with the internet and social engineering nowadays. Right? Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. We're going to get up out of here. I appreciate everybody coming out today. Yeah, and that's the thing, though, Monique, man. They getting rid of off-grid. That's the whole point of the structure of the system, man. This is why I want y'all to understand. This is why when I say this, I'm not trying to fear-monger anything. I just want y'all to understand what's happening. In this system and this structure that's being brought in, all of that off-grid stuff, that stuff is going to be over with, man. There's going to be nowhere you can hide. Nowhere you can be considered off-grid unless they do like what they have numerous contingency plans to do and have like a nuclear war or maybe even a zombie apocalypse or maybe a combination of the two, like on some Fallout type shit. Notice how they just made Fallout a TV show? Right? This dude, little baby. I was like, when I remember this happened during the pandemic, I said, what is little baby doing at the White House with the George Floyd family. Like, what connection does he have to the George Floyd family? Right? That's what I'm saying. There ain't gonna be nowhere to hide, man. Right? They bringing in the social credit system. They are sectioning and siphoning up the country as well as other countries and having human settlement zones. And they're having areas where there's little to no human presence at all, only for occupational services. If you don't work at this factory, if you don't work at this plant, you're probably not going to be living nowhere in the area. Right? You're going to be living in a human settlement zone spread all across the country. Mega cities, mega regions. The stuff I've been telling y'all about. The Foreign Pretty Boy, what's good, boy?
What's happening?
What's the
good
deal,
with you?
man? You hear about this stuff, man, with Mom Donnie messing up their quoting Kiss, man?
Man, bro. These people are insane.
I know. I just want to say this real quick before I pass it to you, bro, and I'm gonna give you the floor. When I seen this, I knew it was some black folk in New York and around the state of New York and around the country that seen that, and they probably was like, "Oh man, Mom Donnie, cool, man." You know what I'm saying? You know who Kiss is, man. Like, oh, did he just quote Kiss, man? He's not that old, man. But go ahead, the Foreign Pretty Boy.
Nah, but like you said, they trying to set it up to where you got a gang of foreigners, coming in and trying to rule over different people in the country. I mean,
right.
That's
it's a
the whole thing.
desensitization process. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me just say this real quick before I'm gonna pass. Let me just say this real quick, and I'm gonna pass it right back to you. It's a desensitization process, y'all. So it's preemptive programming, right? Even with all, like I said, with all the influx of all the you understand what I'm saying? The reason why they got all these illegals in right here, it's not so much is to get us at the state we are now, but to get us preemptively programmed, desensitized, psychologically, prospectively used to in living with close proximity. And not only that, being governed by people who are not Americans. I want y'all to pay attention to that because we are being inducted into a global system, right? Where we're going to have people from all over the world be in the positions of authority of us on some United Nations type stuff. This is the capital of the United Nations, right in New York. Go ahead, the Foreign Pretty Boy.
Exactly. That's the whole point. And they've been doing it since what, the early 2000s. They've been setting it up. Obama was one of the people that actually started it off because he did something that no other president has done, and that was stand at the head of the United Nations, which is actually treason. You know what I mean? It's like because you're not supposed to hold oath to any other government anywhere, any other foreign government anywhere. They've always been trying to do this. That like Virgil said, they're trying to get everybody desensitized to being ruled by people that aren't even on your land or aren't even in your country or are from foreign governments, because it's all about creating one world, one world government. That's the whole thing. That's what it started way back with Clinton and NAFTA, removing the border so people could actually kind of travel freely into your border and using products as an excuse to be able to cross into your border without even having to be really really checked for IDs and checked for things of that nature. And they wanted to really do that when they actually tried to get everybody the RID chip at one point, but they found that people weren't going to apply for that, so they're using the real ID instead. You know what I mean? It's like because people weren't going to want to get the RFID chip put in their bodies. You know what I mean? Not everybody wanted to do that. Some people did. Some people fell for it back in 2000. Yeah, some people fell for it back in 2007. 2006. Some people fell for it when they started to get it implemented, put in their bodies. But then there's like a lot of people were like, nah, mark of the beast, yada yada yada. So then they said, okay, so we'll do the real ID, and that way we'll do it right in your face, and there will be a very very little complaint, and you can't do anything about it in the first place. But just like Virgil said, they're getting all these foreign people to govern over you. You know what I mean? And it's funny thing is that people are basically, these people are telling you that they're against you right in your face. And at the same time, like especially when it comes to the so-called black ones, or they're right in your face, and they're telling you what they're not going to do for your own people. Kamala Harris told you straight to your face that, I'm not going to do anything for, and she worded it slickly, real slick, like, and which kept her into proximity with the people that are like thinking that, oh, she's black. You know what I mean? So we're gonna vote for her because she's black, because they try to pull off the Obama hoax with her, but that didn't work. But at the end of the day, what she said, the way she worded it, where she's like, I'm not even think I'm gonna do anything that's only gonna benefit black people. And she was like, no. And it's like, but look at what she said. See, that's why words are very important on how people, but people only hear what they want to hear because they have selective hearing. You know what I mean? But she did say that, you think I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people, that everything that is, she's like, no, because anything that benefits black people is going to benefit all people. And that's right there, what she said right there was telling you that our civil rights acts, the 14th Amendment, you notice those things that were for us, that were to benefit all people. It's like that's the whole thing. Those things are benefited all people. And that's where we need to draw the line as a people. Is like, nah, you need to do something specifically for us, because they do something specifically for everybody else. But the more and more that no one, that everybody just floats through the wind, doesn't really even care what happens, the more and more they're going to be able to implement these things, right underneath your nose, and you're going to be able to, and you're just not even going to realize what's really happening. Like Virgil keeps saying, it's just like, it's, a lot of people, this shit is new. You know what I'm saying? All this shit is new. It's all like new game, new information. What I mean? But if you really follow this stuff step by step, it's like this has been happening since the 40s. It's the whole thing. It's like since the first and second world wars. It's like they've been slowly doing these things. Really, really since the implementation of the Federal Reserve Bank. At that point, when the families came together and they said, okay, we're going to create a one type of central banking system. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if you control a country's money, you basically control everything they can actually do. And people think, Federal Reserve Bank or our government. Nah, nigga, that is not even a government entity. It's private bank. They are above the law. You know what I mean? And these central banking systems are have been created. It's globally. It's a global system. You know what I mean? And it's like, and they control your currency. If they could control your currency, they could control when you eat, when you sleep, where you sleep. You know what I'm saying? Where you eat, what you're able to purchase, when you're able to purchase it. You know what I mean? Because they set all these things up to where it just blocks it, where you got blocks over here. You could buy this on this day and time. It's like peep gang. You could you could only buy this kind of food from here, because this kind of food has this in it that's gonna make you stronger. Oh, you only got 10 days to buy this. Here's a sale. It's like, so it's like think it's a good thing, but it's actually a form of control, which people don't realize. All this marketing and stuff is to control you. control you psychologically to make you think to make you think that everything is so plentiful or scarcity. So you'll move with the people like sheep. It's like, but people they just get on the hamster wheel day by day, and they just keep going because we gotta feed our families, right? We gotta feed ourselves, right? It's like no independent thought, and they don't want you to think independently. They want you to have group think. That's what the whole government thing and the popular vote is about. What's popular is like not what they're not the policy, not the person that they're going to put in the office because everybody wants those people in the office. It's just because this person is popular, that this person we like them. It's like, oh, we like them because think about it. Like when people go out and they try to vote and put all these votes down, especially for the supreme leader, which is your president. It's like no one can name any time in history that the president became the president, that we actually had a president due to the popular vote. It's never happened. Because think about it. Virgil, how many presidents have you lived through?
Sheesh, I'm 44, 40, about to be 44 next week. Let me say, well, everyone since Reagan.
Everyone since Reagan. So I'd like to ask you how many of those presidents that were actually being presidents actually became president due to the popular vote of the people?
None of them. That's no president. It's not gonna happen. That's not how it
It's
works.
It's not gonna happen exactly, and they showed you right in your face it's not gonna happen because who won the popular vote when the first term of Donald Trump? Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, right? Okay, so when Bush became president, George Bush, little Bush, when he became president, Al Gore won the popular vote, right? Or they had a mix-up where the votes they didn't count all the votes, like that was their excuse. Oh, we didn't count all the votes. They make up dumb excuses playing right in your face, telling you that what you say don't matter. We're gonna put who we want to put in office when we want to put them in office because we got these people bought and paid for all the way up the line. It's like so people seriously better take a look and better think about self-sustainability amongst themselves, growing your own food, you know, getting you some purchasing power or to where you can buy land or get you some land because at the end of the day you really don't own anything, but try to maneuver around the system without having to be on the grid because once they got you on the grid, it's kind of hard to shake. And that's for all of us, you know what I mean? Whether we have jobs, you know what I'm saying, paying being paying the social security and all that stuff because they could cut that off anytime and you can't do nothing about it. That's the thing. Is like, are you actually prepared to do what needs to be done? How this nation was established? People forget this nation was not established through shaking hands and voting. It's like how you think they established this country. They were willing to do what I don't want to say cowards, you know what I'm saying? What what people that are afraid won't do. It's like you have to be willing to do that. And we just had men back in our back way back in the day. You know what I'm saying? They were men. They were willing to sacrifice to make a change, and that's why. And they were willing to sacrifice to make that change. Those people that were willing to sacrifice to make that change, it's like those same people had kids. They had great grandchildren. They had grandchildren. They had great grandchildren. And if you look up the line, those same people, that same bloodline, are these people that are running your countries now. It's like it's like the mafia. It's like the mafia. You gotta have direct ties to your bloodline has to reach back to ancient European, ancient European families for you to even be the president, man. You know what I mean? For even to even be the president, people say, "Oh, well, Trump's not tied in." No, yes, he is. Yes, he is. His bloodline, they're able to trace back his bloodline to royalty of Europe. That's the thing, man. People gotta really pay attention to these people. You know what I'm saying? These people are people that are that have been here. What I mean is what I mean by they've been here. What I mean is their people have been here. The start of the beginning of this country. You know what I mean? They were willing to sacrifice. But people now they not willing to sacrifice because they need to go buy their new their new Hummer or their new Lambo. You know what I'm saying? Well, I need to get this Lambo. Okay, so you mean you don't care about the future of this country or future of your generations down the line? Is people say, yeah, I'm creating I'm trying to build generational wealth for myself. Okay, good. That's great. You know what I'm saying? It's too much individualism amongst that because we're too worried about what we got. We're too worried about things. Where these people, what Virgil keeps telling you, they're not worried about things. They're worried about generations. They're worried about great grandchildren because through them they live forever. In their eyes, through them they live forever because their bloodline is now they live forever and their bloodline controls what you do because we're nothing but peasants to them. It's like it's all power. It's a power play. And people better step up and really realize what are they willing to do. It's like at the end, it's like if we're not willing to do nothing, what are we gonna sit back and complain? All we're gonna do is sit back and complain. What are we gonna do about it? Not a damn thing. I mean, it's like, and the thing is, we have the power to do stuff because there's more of us than it is of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, our group think is they've controlled our group think to do what they say. Nah, man, you got to get your mind free. Think, think, think. Use your brain. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to do what these people say. That's the thing. We don't have to do. We don't have to let the system control us. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be willing to sacrifice to make that change, and you got to really think deep down in your heart. Are you willing to sacrifice? Truthfully, you know what I mean? It's like, but we know that's a very hard pill to swallow. That it's a hard pill to swallow to make us to really think that, especially as men nowadays, that we're cowards. You know what I'm saying? We make up all kind of excuses. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they're doing this and doing that. It's like, but it's a hard pill to swallow to really think, okay, well, what we're gonna do about it? We know how this country got established. It wasn't through handshakes, it wasn't through buddy buddy, oh, you're gonna be my friend, we're gonna all come together, we're gonna vote together. Nah, they did it violently. Okay. That's the real deal. It's like they did it violently. They took your shit straight up. They came in, slaughtered millions, and took your shit, and then created laws to stop you from doing the same stuff that they did to you to establish this country. It's like listen to the dichotomy of that shit. How stupid and retarded that is. You know what I'm saying? They basically came in, told you, okay, y'all, they stole from you. It's against the law to steal. They slaughtered you. It's against the law to kill. As like those two things, stealing and killing is what created this country. And they now told you, oh, well, if you steal or kill, we're gonna give you time. It's like, but wait a minute, you just slaughtered half of my people, my ancestors, and stole from them. But if you do it, you go into jail. we're gonna put you in slave. We're gonna enslave you because that's what prison is, right? You know what I'm saying? So the thing
Right.
is, it's a hard pill to swallow because because okay, so usually if somebody socks you in the mouth, what do? You sock them back, right?
Right. That's right.
And we ain't not socking them back. No one's socking them back, and it's hard. It's hard to think. Yeah, they punched me in the face. They punched me in the face. They punched my great grandparents in the face. They punched my great great grandparents in the face and hung them and did all this stuff. But I need to go get this money though. It's all a psychological game, man.
Mm.
Virgil, man, is sharing something very important with you guys. You know what I'm saying? With in regards to what how these people are moving. And
Right.
don't think and the whole thing is like don't think that he's the only one that's sharing this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
YouTube is really hard on YouTube is really hard on the gang. You know what I'm saying?
It definitely is, and you just definitely don't want people to be piecing this stuff together, critically thinking either. Though, go ahead and leave it with your last words. We're about to get up out of here. 92 Dolo, what's good? My man 92 Dolo came through on the Cash app as usual, man. Appreciate that contribution, man. Go ahead with the phone, pretty boy.
Yeah, there's a it's like if people recognize it like the social media stuff is a way is a good way to communicate and good way to get people to start really opening their mind up because even the guy who's the president right now, that's the thing. That's how he was able to sway towards the popular vote because he was able to tap into social media. You notice he went on a run, and he did he went on all these podcasts, you know what I'm saying, and kind of like mobilized the people which is mainly the youth, you know what I'm saying, who thought, who was all Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad. And then he went on these podcasts because he's a celebrity and he talked them down. And so those people, he was able to get people to see that he was popular, more popular amongst the youth, and that's how. And the thing is, like, it's an investment for a lot of these corporate interests. They turn around and they want to see who's popular, because the more popular the person is, the more those people are going to listen to or hear what that person has to say, and they're going to listen to them. You know what I'm saying? That's all it's about. That's all the popular vote is about. This person's popular. That means they like him. That means when we implement certain laws and policies underneath these people's nose, they're not gonna say nothing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They're gonna complain. They go, oh yeah, but we still like them. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna do little stuff like he's doing right now with the immigration stuff. The whole thing is like it's like the majority of the country agrees with it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But they agree with it, and that's one way to say, okay, well, Trump good, Trump good, Trump good. But then there's other things over here. It's like, okay, these tariffs, you know what I'm saying? They're good in some ways, but they're not. They hurt other people in some other ways. Okay. So everybody overlooks that. Okay, we're pulling history out of schools, certain histories of certain people out of school, making everybody think slavery was good and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? If your public school system still decides to teach about US history the way it was previously, in regards to how they treated certain melanated people, it's like they pull funding. Be like, nah, we're not going to give you that much money because you guys are still teaching this over here. You're supposed to be teach that slavery taught black people great skills. That's what you're supposed to be teaching. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, and then everybody goes, oh man, that's messed up. Don't do that. But Trump good because he did this over here. They played a game. None of these people are good. Pay attention. You know what I'm saying? That none of these people are for the people. They're for their own corporate interests. Gavin Newsom's going to be your next president. It's like, and at the end of the day, all this stuff's going to turn around and go right back to how it was, and it's going to be even worse. They playing right in your face because there's no way a governor should be able to purchase a $9 million house. You know what I'm saying? Out of nowhere. Okay, let's stop it. You know what I'm saying? All
Mhm.
right, y'all. Good
All
looking
right,
out,
before
Virgil.
people, man. No
Virgil,
doubt
you need
about
to Virgil,
it.
really, bro. You need to consider like taking your stuff over to TikTok, bro. I'm telling you.
TikTok
hella.
already. I'm TikTok is. TikTok is.
It's owned by the Chinese, so it's
Yeah, I
different.
mean,
You
I know it's
understand
owned
that?
by the Chinese, but
You should, Virgil. There's like hundreds
I
of
mean,
you over there.
I'm not gonna say I tried because I haven't really went hard on TikTok though, for real. But I see what TikTok is about. It's kind of annoying for real though.
I know
I'm
it
a,
is, but your knowledge should be shared over there because you
I'm
got the
a,
wisdom. You got
I'm
the
a thinking
wisdom.
about how I'm gonna go about doing the content over there. I've been doing some freelance and stuff, but I've been thinking of how I'm gonna go about doing it over there.
Your room will be full.
Yeah,
Trust me. There's a lot of people out here that know exactly what you're talking about, bro.
we
You know what
about
I'm saying?
to I'm about to start focusing on this like this week coming up, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get back to this robot army that's about to be unleashed upon us, man. It's about to be rolled out and a whole lot of other stuff. So I appreciate you coming up, the Former Pretty Boy, man. You know you can come up anytime, bro.
For sure, fam. Have a good
All right, bro.
weekend.
Well, you
What you
too,
doing?
brother.
It's like I'll be here tomorrow if you fire it up.
I'm definitely doing another show in a few hours, man. I gotta run a couple of errands, and we're gonna do a show talk about that Cam Newton and goddamn and Natalie Nunn interview with her Moon McKnight chin ass, man. We're gonna do a goddamn live stream on that for Friday night tonight, man.
Bruh, NFL, man. All NFL and basketball is like it's not it's soap operas, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, like it's like every year, man, you got some NFL player that snaps and does some stupid shit. You got, you know what I'm saying, that has nothing to do with nothing, bro. Just go out there and play your game and get paid, but it's always some drama, bro. Like old girl that like, the dude, old girl like what was oh boy, man, just recently was in the news, but it's like yesterday she admitted to like trying to put a hit out on bruh.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, it did.
It's like
Wow, right? Crazy, right?
it's
She ain't
like,
being
bro,
held under investigation or nothing.
exactly, bro. What are we
Wow,
in? We in the movies? What the?
that's
Fuck?
crazy. That's
All
crazy.
right, fam.
All right, bro.
All right.
Yeah, man. Shout out to my brother, Deformed Pretty Boy. We got to get up out of here, y'all. Shout out to my brother, 92 Dolo, Monique Robinson, Deformed Pretty Boy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else tapping in. My brother, Daniel Valencia, tapping in. DJ Biggs tapped in with us. You understand what I'm saying? Smash that like button, click the bell, subscribe to the page, man. We're going to ride out, man. We'll be with y'all in a couple more hours at 9 o'clock. You did. We're going to be discussing the Cam Newton and the goddamn Natalie Nunn video. You understand me? Interview. Tap in, walk with us, man. You did.
That's not necessary.
What question is? It's going to hurt.
Task Force, Black Force, we the tag team. If it's a nightmare, then it must be a bad dream. E&E, running our lanes like a track meet, skipping over hurdles. Call us a track team, all paperwork legit. It's the fact team, then double up the championship belts like a tag team. Black on black, yeah, it's a black thing. Black jewelry shining on all of our black kings. All black everything, we got black tea. All black coffee, man, I don't add green. North give you all you need, no more caffeine. Close down the whole set, no more casting. Remove targets off our back like a black team. We keep growing up the game like a black team. Your girl got a problem with me, then get at me. I'm tired to a bumper, now you got a drag queen. You can't stop me, you old as jalopy. This is past me, and I got it photocopied. Caught him on film, flow, tracks and sloppy. Trying to attack me, you a carbon copy. I see the heat like chimney blocks, and I charge for a hook, put me in a penalty box. Man, I'm killing the ops while I look at my watch. All hands on deck like the time on the clock. Task Force, Black Force, we the tag team. If it's a nightmare, then it must be a bad dream. E&E, running our lanes like a track meet, skipping over hurdles. Call us a track team, all paperwork legit. It's the fact team, then double up the championship belts like a tag team. Black on black, yeah, it's a black thing. Black jewelry shining on our black
Keep
kings.
my grass cut low to catch a glimpse of the snakes. Devilish serpents with purpose to steal your cake. Smiling in your face while they got their eyes on your safe. Yeah. Boy, that hatred, man, they make you do some foul things. Switch up on your niggas like the numbers when the Dow change. When I work for Millie, still a grind like a broke. Take it for granted, shit be gone in the proof of smoke. Better put your plan in action, niggas get to use the whole. Formulated the plan, calculated the steps. 2020, my vision, see my way to the check. Get it. Only way is up, I made my way to the steps. Look, only way to move is building kingdom shit. Niggas won't make a move, want you to bring them shit. But God bless the child that can hold his own. They want to give you numbers in his cell like a mobile phone. But fuck a cop, any wicked, you this was just fuck. Cause niggas on the edge, there for you to push. Bullets loaded tight up in that magazine. Bring a nightmare to American dreams.
Task force, black force, we the tag team. If it's a nightmare, then it must be a bad dream. E&E, running our lanes like a track meet, skipping over hurdles. Call us a track team. All paperwork legit. It's the fact team. Then double up the championship belts like a tag team. Black on black, yeah, it's a black thing. Black jewelry shining on our black kings.